Choosing your first handgun can be overwhelming with hundreds of options out there. But here's the truth. Most first-time buyers make the same costly mistakes that leave them with a gun they'll never shoot. Today, I'm breaking down the 10 absolute best first handguns. And by the end, I'll tell you exactly which one you should get based on your specific needs. Let's dive in. Number 10. Ruger Security 9. Let's kick things off with an absolute budget champion, the Ruger Security 9. If you're working with a tight budget but refuse to compromise on reliability, this is your gun. Priced around $300 to $350, this pistol punches way above its weight class. The Security 9 features a lightweight polymer frame, holds 15+1 rounds of 9mm, and comes with genuine Novak sights right out of the box. That's a feature you'd typically find on guns costing twice as much. The trigger has a clean break, and the grip texture is aggressive enough to maintain control without tearing up your hands. What makes this perfect for beginners? The simplicity. There's no external safety to fumble with during high-stress situations, just a trigger safety like you'd find on a Glock. The slide serrations are deep and easy to grip, which is crucial when you're still building hand strength. Ruger's customer service is legendary, and these guns are backed by a lifetime warranty. The downside? The trigger isn't competition grade, and the grip angle might feel slightly different if you've trained on other platforms. But for the money, you're getting 90% of the performance at 50% of the cost. Number 9. Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Compact. Smith & Wesson's M&P line has been a law enforcement staple for years, and the 2.0 Compact brings that proven reliability to the concealed carry market. The M&P 2.0 Compact holds 15 rounds in 9mm, features an aggressive grip texture that actually works, and includes 4 interchangeable palm swell grips. This last feature is a game-changer for new shooters because hand size varies dramatically. You're not stuck with a one-size-fits-none situation. The trigger on the 2.0 is worlds better than the original M&P. It has a crisp reset and a lighter pull weight around 5 to 5.5 pounds. The sights are white 3-dot, which are easy to acquire quickly. The frame has a low bore axis, reducing muzzle flip and helping you get back on target faster. This gun is versatile. It's small enough to conceal comfortably, but large enough to shoot accurately at the range. You can run this gun hard, we're talking thousands of rounds, without major issues. The con? At around $450 to $500, it's not the cheapest option. And some shooters find the aggressive texture too much for extended range sessions. But if you want to do everything first pistol, this is a serious contender. Number 8. SIG P10C. The SIG P10C is the gun that made Glock fanboys nervous when it launched. Czech engineering meets modern striker-fired design, and the result is exceptional. The P10C holds 15+1 and features one of the best factory triggers in the striker-fired world. The trigger breaks cleanly around 4.5 pounds with minimal take-up and a short, tactile reset. For a beginner, this means you'll develop better trigger control faster, because you're not fighting a mushy, inconsistent trigger. The grip angle is more natural than a Glock's, which most shooters find more intuitive. The fiber-reinforced polymer frame is rock solid, and the slide has front and rear serrations for easy manipulation. SIG includes swappable backstraps, and the mag release is reversible for lefties. Reliability is where SIG shines. These guns run dirty, they run wet, they run dry. They just run. Price-wise, you're looking at $450 to $550, depending on your market. For what you get, that's outstanding value. Number 7. Walther PDP. The Walther PDP is what happens when German engineering focuses on ergonomics and shootability. This is one of the most underrated first-hand guns on the market. Right out of the box, the PDP feels like a custom gun. The performance duty pistol lives up to its name with a grip texture that provides control without aggression, a superb trigger with a clean 4 to 5 pound pull, and excellent factory sights. The trigger is the standout feature. It has a short travel, a crisp break, and an audible and tactile reset that makes follow-up shots incredibly fast. For a new shooter, this translates to better accuracy from day one, because the gun isn't working against you. The PDP is optics ready, so when you're ready to mount a red dot, the platform is there. The slide serrations are well designed, and the dynamic performance trigger is simply one of the best in the business. At around $600, it's getting pricey. But if you value shootability and ergonomics above all else, the PDP deserves serious consideration. Number 6. Canik TP9 SF Elite. Let's talk about the value king that shocked the industry. The Canik TP9 SF Elite is a Turkish-made pistol that delivers performance far beyond its $350 price tag. This gun comes with everything: a holster, 2 magazines, interchangeable backstraps, a cleaning kit, and a magazine loader. The trigger is shockingly good for the price, comparable to triggers on guns costing 3 times as much. It's a single-action trigger with a short reset and a clean break. The TP9 SF Elite holds 18 rounds in 9mm, making it one of the highest capacity options on this list. The sights are Warren Tactical, which are excellent, and the gun is optics ready. The frame has a built-in accessory rail for lights or lasers. Reliability has proven solid across thousands of user reviews. So what's the catch? Aftermarket support is still catching up, though it's improving rapidly. Some gun snobs will look down on the Turkish origin, but the performance speaks for itself. For a first-time buyer on a budget who wants maximum capability, the Canik is hard to beat. Number 5. Sig Sauer P320. The SIG P320 is the gun that won the U.S. military's MICHS contract, beating out Glock and others. That should tell you something about its capabilities. The P320's modular design is revolutionary. The serialized component is the fire control unit, which means you can swap frames, slides, and barrels to completely change the gun's size and caliber. Buy one P320, and you can configure it as a full-size, compact, or subcompact. As a beginner, this modularity means the gun can grow with you. The trigger is smooth and consistent, the sights are excellent, and the gun is optics ready. SIG's build quality is top tier, reliability is excellent, and the aftermarket support is massive. The P320 comes in various configurations, but for a first handgun, I'd recommend the compact model. It holds 15 rounds, is concealable, and still shootable enough for range work. The downside is price. You're looking at $550 to $700 depending on the model, and the early models had some trigger safety concerns, though these have been addressed in current production. Make sure you're getting an updated model. For versatility and long-term value, the P320 is exceptional. Number 4. Glock 19. We can't talk about first handguns without mentioning the Glock 19. It's the most popular handgun in America. For good reason, it simply works. The Glock 19 is the Goldilocks gun. Not too big, not too small, holding 15 rounds of 9mm in a package that conceals well but shoots like a full size. The polymer frame is virtually indestructible. The safe action trigger is consistent and reliable, and the simplicity of the design means there's almost nothing to break. Aftermarket support for the Glock 19 is unmatched. Holsters, sights, triggers, barrels, if you can imagine it, someone makes it for the Glock 19. The Gen 5 model added front slide serrations, a flared magwell, and an improved trigger. The grip texture is more aggressive. Reliability is legendary. The Glock 19 isn't the cheapest option, but it's arguably the safest bet for a first handgun. Number 3. Springfield Armory Hellcat. If concealed carry is your primary goal, the Springfield Hellcat is a revelation. This micro-compact holds 13 rounds in a package smaller than most 10-round guns. The Hellcat proves that small doesn't mean less capable. The trigger is surprisingly good for a gun this size, with a clean break and short reset. The sights are tritium and fiber optic combination U.tritium, which are excellent for quick target acquisition. The grip texture is aggressive but not punishing, and the gun is optics ready. Despite its size, the Hellcat is shootable. The recoil is manageable, the sight radius is adequate, and the capacity is game-changing for concealed carry. Springfield includes 2 magazines, an 11-rounder that's flush, and a 13-rounder with an extension. The Hellcat has won numerous awards and has proven reliable across extensive testing. It's become a favorite among concealed carriers who previously had to choose between capacity and concealability. The downside? It's small, which means it's harder to shoot accurately at distance compared to larger guns, and if you have large hands, the grip might feel cramped. At around $500 to $600, it's also not cheap. But if your priority is carrying every day in comfort while maintaining serious capability, the Hellcat is hard to beat. Number 2. FN 509. Fen Herstal doesn't get the recognition it deserves in the American market, but the 509 is an absolute performer that should be on every first-time buyer's radar. The gun holds 17 rounds in 9mm, features an incredibly low bore axis for minimal muzzle flip, and has one of the best factory triggers in the striker-fired category. The grip is well designed with interchangeable backstraps. The controls are ambidextrous, and the gun comes with suppressor height night sights that co-witness with optics. The cold hammer forged barrel is accurate and durable. What sets the 509 apart is attention to detail. The slide serrations are functional, the trigger has a clean 4.5-pound pull with excellent reset, and the overall build quality is exceptional. This is a gun built to professional standards but priced for civilians. Fen's reliability is military grade. The 509 has proven itself across tens of thousands of rounds in user testing, and at around $600 to $700, it's a significant investment. But if you want a gun built to professional standards with excellent shootability and reliability, the FN 509 deserves serious consideration. Number 1. Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS, my final recommendation. After testing, training with, and evaluating hundreds of handguns, my number 1 recommendation for a first handgun is the Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS. Here's exactly why. The Glock 19 hits the sweet spot for size, capacity, reliability, and long-term value in a way no other gun on this list quite matches. It's large enough to shoot accurately and comfortably at the range, building your skills effectively. It's small enough to conceal carry when you're ready. The 15-round capacity gives you adequate ammunition without making the gun bulky. The Gen 5 improvements matter. The ambidextrous slide stop, the flared magwell for easier reloads, the marksman barrel for improved accuracy, and the elimination of finger grooves make this the best Glock 19 ever made. The MOS optic system version comes cut for optics, so when you're ready to add a red dot, you don't need a new gun or expensive milling work. The reliability is proven across millions of guns and billions of rounds. Competitive shooters and civilians rely on Glock 19s every day. It works when it needs to work. For a first-time buyer, this reliability and support network is invaluable. You're not gambling on an unknown platform. You're choosing the most proven, most supported, most versatile option available. Yes, it costs around $600 for the MOS version. Yes, you'll probably want to upgrade the sights. Yes, the trigger isn't match grade out of the box. But none of that matters because you're buying into a platform that will serve you for decades. The Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS is my number 1 recommendation because it's the safest, smartest, most practical choice for someone buying their first handgun. There you have it, the 10 best first handguns, and my exact recommendation for you. The Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS gives you everything you need to start your firearms journey right. Remember, the best gun is the one you'll actually train with, so get out to the range and put in the work. If this video helped you make your decision, smash that like button and subscribe for more honest gun reviews. Drop a comment and let me know which handgun you're choosing. Stay safe out there.